Welcome back. Mineral Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe says his department will be working with the Minerals Council to tackle the illegal mining issue. Speaking at the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Mineral and Petroleum Resources, he stressed the need for solutions. Police Minister Senzo Mchunu also updated the committee saying that investigations are ongoing to identify who is benefiting from illegal mining. To dig deeper into this, let's now have this chat with Mika Mahlaule, who is the chairperson of the Mineral Resources Portfolio. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Really struck by one of the comments made by the Minister of Mineral Resources that undocumented foreign nationals, quote, are raping our economy. What went through your mind when you said that?
Well, good morning, Aldrin, and good morning to your viewers. It's something that we have been saying, but I think his comments were largely because the report says amongst 1,700 plus people who surfaced in Stilfontein, only 1% of those people were South Africans. That tells you the problem that we have with our foreign nationals who are mining our minerals without permission. And that is actually raping our economy, because that economy loses around 40 to 60, between 40 to 60 billion rand a year. So that's a lot of money that should be going to taxpayers' pocket that would be put in good use for South Africans.
Yeah, and on what's evident, at least from that data, what that data tells us, as the Minister has stressed as well, that while some people speak about economic hardships of South Africans and socio-economic conditions that South Africans find themselves under, it's not South Africans that are dominating in this illegal mining. So it tells us a story of people that are being recruited outside of our country and then being brought into South Africa to conduct this illegal mining. But the question that was asked during the Portfolio Committee's meeting yesterday was also around who the kingpins are. One of the answers was of a certain individual who had been arrested about 2 years ago. But if you're losing about 40 to 60 billion rand, it is an active industry, meaning that there are people who are still pulling the strings.
Absolutely. There are people who are pulling the strings. Some of them are arrested, and police don't name them out there, but there are those that are arrested. But the larger portion of them, we are told that are not in the country. They are enjoying their lavish lifestyle elsewhere in the world. That is why we, as the Portfolio Committee, did not buy the narrative that the one tiger who was helped by police to escape in police custody is a kingpin. Kingpins don't go underground. They have foremen who go underground to look at those that are working every day. Kingpins don't do that. Kingpins are living lavish lifestyle elsewhere in the world. Those that are in the country, the police are looking for them, and time will tell.
Yeah. Were you satisfied, though, with the answers that they were giving you around why it's difficult to get those kingpins and make sure that they are behind bars? Considering as well that, for instance, that we have Interpol, which would be assisting on investigations of that nature, if South Africa knows who exactly it is that it wants?
We appreciated the nature of the discussion and the sensitivities around what they are disclosing and what they are not disclosing. But on the sideline, they would tell you that it's a pity we can't inform the kingpins, because surely they are watching this discussion because they know we're coming for them. But we're making great strides in pursuing them. So that gave me some comfort, because I understood the nature of the discussion that we're having, that they can't tell the whole world, including them, that they are coming for them and they know where they are.
Yeah, but isn't that a cop-out? How long has this been going on for, and who's this kingpin or kingpins that have been arrested and convicted?
Well, they have not disclosed the names, but since 2019, they have mentioned around 8 at least people that they have arrested all over the country who were convicted and they have repossessed whatever the proceeds that they had acquired with those illegal mining. But the assurance is that they are doing very well, even pursuing people who are outside of the country.
Does the portfolio committee believe that they're doing very well?
We believe that if you look at the money they are spending, their budget is 1.7 billion. And I must say, Aldrin, that it's not taxpayers' money. It's money taken from proceeds that they retrieve from criminals all over the country every day that they're using to fight back criminality. So if you match the money they are spending and what they are reporting and what they are not reporting but briefing us on the sidelines, we should get some comfort that we are winning the war. And the fact that when this Operation Vala Mgodi ends, end of May, they are planning to have a permanent unit within the police service to fight these illicit mining proceeds and activities. We get comfort that it's not a once-off because they will have a permanent unit in doing that. So the war will be permanent in that regard.
Yeah, that's 1.7 billion, I argue, Chairperson, that could go to something else, actually. Not 1.7 billion that is also then used to fight crime that, in this particular sense for me, that seems to be very difficult to nip in the bud, considering as well as we've indicated that this has been something that has been ongoing. It is nothing new. For instance, one of the MPs were raising the point that the illicit minerals that are being dug out of the ground, out of our country, find their way into the formal sector. But do we know who from the formal sector, from the formal mining sector, has ever been held accountable for being involved in illicit mining?
You would have heard Aldrin, the minister, when asked that question, he says because he doesn't have proof, he's not going to name any company that anyone thinks that they are involved in this. And I will not as well mention any company because I don't have proof that there are companies that are helping these proceeds to find their way to the formal sector. It will be irresponsible of me to do so.
Sure, but is it plausible?
We think that it's happening, Aldrin. There are people who are evading taxes, so it becomes very simple for them. Remember, there are certain holes and shafts that are left with some minerals that are not viable for the company to deploy its resources to mine. So that's where we believe that they send these zamazamas to do the job for them at a low scale, and then they find their way in the formal market.
Yeah. Another quick one also is on the MP was raising the point that it can't be that there was only one firearm that was found during this operation in Stilfontein. She then makes the point around explosives that would be used in the mining sector, in this illegal mining as well. And the commissioner then says that actually what they have found from the investigations is that these are explosives that have been bought in South Africa by companies or individuals in the SADC region, and then transported to those individuals, and then those very same explosives find their ways back in the country and used for illegal mining. Shouldn't those companies be investigated as well, and questions being asked of them that who are the people that you are selling these explosives to, because that could then give us a lead?
It's a good point, Aldrin, that you are suggesting, and I'm not opposed to it. But the porous borders as well, if you had the commissioner, is that they intercept a lot of those coming from the SADC region, either through the border or elsewhere, but they find their way into the country. So clearly, the porous borders, that's why we are planning to have a joint meeting with, including Home Affairs, to have a conversation with them that the porous borders in South Africa are creating a problem with our neighboring countries, because a lot of explosives, guns, and all sorts of ills are coming to the country, and there's no way we can allow that forever. There must be a way that the Border Management Authority steps in, and decisively so. But I'm not opposed to your suggestion that maybe we should look at companies that are trading in that regard to understand the trading patterns.
Yeah, I think that could give us a lead as well around who could be behind. This is now speaking about the kingpins behind illegal mining in the country. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Mika Mahlaule is the chairperson for the Portfolio Committee on Mineral Resources.